Stop everything. What I'm about to tell you will change everything you thought you knew about the NFL's most explosive offseason blockbuster. An insider bombshell so colossal, so mind-blowing that it's just now beginning to shake the very foundations of the league. I'm talking about a deal that could send shockwaves across the NFL universe, reconfigure rivalries, shatter team-building paradigms, and you're here right now on the front lines of a story that's still unfolding. A secret so guarded, so meticulously planned, that I've been sworn to silence until now. But make no mistake, what I'm about to reveal is no ordinary rumor. This isn't just another hearsay, it's a carefully guarded blueprint, driven by sources close to the highest levels of the NFL hierarchy. And what they've just whispered in my ear is enough to blow apart the entire league as we know it. Right now, chaos is erupting in the brass offices of Cleveland. Phones are ringing off the hook. Executives are pacing like caged animals. The Browns, a franchise desperate for a new direction, a spark to reignite their downtrodden hopes, are making secret moves that seem almost clandestine. Meetings in complete secrecy, encrypted calls sent via satellite private jets humming in the dead of night. Their front office is a hive of activity, with whispers of a master plan that could reshape their entire offense. And in the midst of it all is something bigger than we ever imagined. You see, Cleveland isn't just hunting for a piece or a stopgap. They're after something monumental. Something seismic. And if you think you have a clue about what's happening, think again, because what I'm about to tell you will make your jaw drop. Now stay locked in because the story is just beginning to unravel. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second of what's coming. This is insider info buried deep behind closed doors, kept under lock and key until today. And once you hear the full truth, nothing will ever be the same. The Cleveland Browns are at a crossroads. After an agonizing season that saw them fall short once again, finishing 5-12 and ending Kevin Stefanski's tenure as head coach, they're facing an utterly unprecedented offseason. The franchise, once full of promise and hope, now finds itself embroiled in a brutal rebuild. Yet their most pressing issue isn't draft picks or free agents. It's that they're desperately searching for a game changer, an explosive, high-impact superstar who can lift this organization out of the darkness. They're looking for someone who embodies everything they've lacked: elite playmaking, leadership, the ability to turn the tide in critical moments, and right now, they're willing to do whatever it takes. Behind closed doors, Cleveland's brass has been operating like a covert operation. Sources reveal that the team's inner circle has been locked in secret meetings, calls with confidential agents, premium lounge discussions in remote locations, and even clandestine negotiations in private jets flying under the radar. The goal: to land a player so dynamic, so vital to their future, that his arrival would instantly make them playoff contenders, Super Bowl aspirants. And over the past few weeks, this process has intensified exponentially. Top league insiders tell me that Cleveland has made a significant push, an all-in attempt to acquire a player who, until recently, was considered untouchable. But who could it be? Who is the missing piece so crucial that the Browns would risk everything for? That's where the rumors swirl, the whispers grow louder, and the suspense reaches a fever pitch. Because, folks, what I'm about to reveal will turn your perception of NFL trades upside down. And here's the kicker: my sources just confirmed something huge. Something that could redefine franchise strategies across the league. Keep your eyes glued, because what's coming next is nothing short of historic. Now think about this: Cleveland has been painfully aware that their window is closing. Their roster, full of promise, is still incomplete, especially on offense. Their quarterback situation is a revolving door. Their offensive line struggles to hold up. And their receiving core, despite flashes of brilliance, lacks that undeniable star power. They've been searching for a spark that can ignite their entire attack, energize their fanbase, and turn their season from toxic to triumphant. And then they found HIM. Now I know what you're thinking. Who is the player that has them this excited? Who is the secret weapon that could finally give Cleveland that much-needed edge? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to give you the name, and I promise it's someone you've heard of, but not in a way you'd expect. This is a player whose impact has been growing exponentially, someone who's been quietly rewriting his legacy, and who now finds himself squarely in the middle of NFL's most explosive trade rumor of 2026. Yes, I'm talking about Josh Jacobs. That's right, Josh Jacobs, the elite, the powerhouse, the NFL's running back superstar, and the guy whose name has been whispered in league circles as the perfect fit for a team desperate for a game-changing RB. And here's where it gets even more insane. For months, Cleveland's front office has been monitoring Jacobs' every move. They've watched his rise from the Raiders to the Packers, tracking his stats, his health, his performances in clutch moments. They've studied his contract, his market value, and how much it would take to bring him into their fold. And sources say that despite the apparent chaos, Cleveland's brain trust has positioned itself as the biggest player in the game. Why Jacobs? Well, for starters, his stats are unreal. Let me get into the gritty details. In the 2024-2025 seasons, Jacobs ran the ball a staggering 535 times, racking up 2,258 rushing yards and crushing defenses with his size, speed, and power. His yards per carry over those 2 seasons, about 4.2 yards, with several explosive runs that make defenders tremble. He's a proven workhorse, delivering 13 rushing touchdowns last year alone, and with over 28 total TDs in those 2 seasons. Not to mention his pass-catching ability, adding a career-high 81 receiving yards in 2023, along with a touchdown reception in 2024. He's the kind of dual threat who can line up in any situation and dominate. And let's talk about his style. Jacobs is that rare breed of running back who combines brute strength with elusive agility. He wears down defenses, breaks tackles, and always seems to find a way to churn out those critical yards. His vision is impeccable, his field awareness second to none, making him not just a runner but a complete offensive weapon. His achievements: a Pro Bowl selection in 2020, leading the NFL in rushing yards in 2022 with 1,653, and becoming a foundational piece for the Raiders before signing his lucrative 4-year, $48 million deal with Green Bay in 2024. A move that initially surprised many but now seems like a masterstroke given how he's continued to perform at elite levels. Why would Cleveland want him? It's simple. They're starving for a game-changing back. They want that guy who can carry the offense on his shoulders, who can turn a third and forever into a first down, and who can be their franchise centerpiece. And Jacobs, he's exactly that. But it's not just about performance. It's about market fit and scheme compatibility. Jacobs' running style, powerful, versatile, relentless, fits perfectly with Cleveland's envisioned offensive identity, a tough, smash-mouth attack designed to wear opponents down. Pair that with their emerging young QB core, and suddenly, the Browns could become a nightmare for defenses. Now, what's truly incredible is the behind-the-scenes drama fueling this potential deal. League insiders confirm that NFL authorities have been quietly giving Cleveland the green light, evaluating the financial implications, the trade logistics, and how to make this happen without destabilizing their entire roster. They've been guided by a mastermind, a GM working in the shadows, orchestrating this entire operation with precision. Sources say Cleveland's front office has been in contact with Jacobs' reps for weeks, floating potential trade packages, trying to find the right balance of picks, players, and future cap flexibility. And rival teams, they're scrambling. Rumors swirl of attempts by other franchises, like the Jets, who are desperately trying to upgrade their backfield, and the Chiefs, who covet a top-tier back to replace the aging Isaiah Pacheco. But Cleveland is playing this game cold, calculated, and aggressive. They know the value Jacobs brings. They've already crafted contingency plans, FA signings, salary restructures, and cap maneuvers to ensure this deal happens. The emotions behind this are palpable. Cleveland's new GM, Andrew Berry, is reportedly viewing Jacobs as the piece that will catapult his franchise into a new stratosphere. I've heard whispers of genius-level planning, of a masterstroke in progress, and of a possible game-changer for the next decade. And the best part: the deal isn't just about acquiring a star, it's about sending a message, an all-in, "We're here to compete now" statement that's destined to shake the NFL to its core. And the money. Well, sources say Cleveland's willing to make a serious push, perhaps trading multiple picks, maybe even a young player or two, to land Jacobs. The financial implications are staggering, but for a player of his caliber, it's worth every cent. What about Jacobs himself? Well, amidst all this chaos, insidiously tantalizing reports suggest he's already aware. His camp has been in talks with Cleveland officials behind closed doors. They know the stakes. They understand that this isn't just a move for a paycheck. This is a franchise-defining moment. Jacobs' relentless drive, his passion to be a difference-maker, his desire to prove himself on the biggest stage, this all aligns perfectly with Cleveland's vision. And here's the kicker. League sources say Jacobs is ready for the challenge, eager to wear a different jersey and to write a new chapter in his already illustrious career. The NFL's top insiders believe this is more than just a transaction. It's a statement that Jacobs is now about to become the centerpiece of a franchise hungry for greatness. Now, the question on everyone's mind, what does this mean for the NFL's landscape? It means the Browns are about to take a giant leap. It means other teams will be watching with bated breath, and it signals a new era of aggressive blockbuster trades. Imagine a Cleveland offense with Jacobs, a rising young quarterback and a revamped line, destroying defenses, controlling the clock, and rewriting their identity from underdog to powerhouse. It's the stuff of legend. But here's where it gets even more intense. League whispers suggest that Jacobs' agent has already spoken with Cleveland's front office about an agreement, and if the deal goes through, it could be announced in the next few days. The NFL's offseason just got a whole lot hotter. The next 48 hours will be absolutely critical: signing, negotiations, final paperwork, and the league's ripple effects. Nobody is safe from the fallout of this potential mega-move. So to all of you NFL fans, fantasy enthusiasts, and die-hard Browns and Raiders supporters, brace yourselves. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't just a rumor. It's the beginning of a seismic shift in the NFL's power balance. The Cleveland Browns, a franchise desperate for greatness, are about to make a bold, historic move that will echo through the league for years to come. And at the center of it all, a superstar who's been quietly waiting in the wings, ready to change everything. The next 48 hours will be critical. Stay tuned, stay locked in, and make sure your notifications are turned on. Because once this deal drops, once it's made official, the NFL landscape as you know it will never be the same. In the end, remember this. The league is a battlefield, and right now, Cleveland is playing chess at the highest level. By securing this player, they're not just building a roster, they're redefining their entire future. And if you think this is just another trade rumor, think again. The biggest story in NFL history might just be unfolding right before your eyes. Stay with me because I promise, what's coming next will blow your mind. This is the moment where we draw the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. Because what I have just shared isn't just a scoop, it's a glimpse into the NFL's future. A future that's about to be rewritten by a move so bold, so unprecedented, that the league's power players are already bracing for impact. And remember, the league's best stories are written in the shadows. But now the lights are on, the curtain is rising. And the blockbuster of the century is just about to begin.